Hello and welcome to another video from the only channel that you need to not only survive the current apocalypse but actually enjoy it. And this is going to be another one of those videos that I'm making just to test my camera, but I'm going to try to make it a little interesting. We're going to be talking about the hierarchical arrangement that we live under today, and why it's God never intended for human beings to have such a thing. I'm going to be posting this video twice because I want to post it. I guess I should have started by saying this is being uploaded at 17 megabytes per second. So I'm going to post this unedited video straight from the camera up to YouTube at 17 megabytes per second footage. But I want to test my audio recorder too. So I'm going to make a second video using this footage and the audio off of this recorder. And I'm going to put in a little bit of text. Now I'm using Windows Movie Maker in the hopes that Windows Movie Maker can take this MP4 footage that's in this camera, edit it in MP4, and upload it in MP4 without losing any image quality, because I'd really like to keep using Windows Movie Maker, which is a free program. But at the same time, I've been watching videos about Adobe Premiere Pro, and I really want to go ahead and get that. So if this thing works, I'm not a guy that has to have all the latest things, but at the same time I can see where Adobe may make my life a little easier if I can figure it out. So we'll see. The Adobe Premiere is like $21 a month till you die. So if I can save myself that $21, I'll be happy. So anyways, depending on what the title of this is, you're either watching the edited version or the unedited version. Now, I always like to talk about the fact that in the Bible, words like Baal are always put in it, kind of inaccurate way. A husband, always inaccurate. Wife. The notion of a husband and wife did not come up for thousands of years, after the creation, after the flood, in fact. And prior to that, human beings didn't really do it. So when you're reading in the Bible how somebody got married, or somebody was a husband, or somebody was a wife, that's for the most part misinterpretations or mistranslations. The words that are used to describe Adam and Eve are Aish and Aish Shah. So Adam's Aish and Eve is Aish Shah. We're told that's husband and wife, but if you're going through the Bible, you'll see that word used for a lot of things that can't mean husband and wife, so they're obviously not. But if you look at the root words of these words, then you see that Aish actually means male tribal leader. If you go through and look at every single instance of that word, where it occurs in the Bible, it always is about a male tribal leader, someone like Adam or Abraham. The word Aish Shah is always used when it's describing a woman who is in a relationship with the male tribal leader. So these are, in the house, there may be, like a tribe, which is often called a house. There might be 400 or 500 people, maybe 800, who knows? The Bible doesn't really clearly say. But always within that are some men who are called Aish and others who are not. And there are some women called Aish Shah and others who are not. So there's something to do with hierarchy here. And if we look at the word Aish or Aish Shah, and here's another thing. The word Aish Shah in Hebrew is identical to the word Isis in Egyptian. So in the Bible, when you're talking about Aish Shah, that female tribal leader, the female leader of the male tribal leader, that's where the word Isis comes from. Isis was the goddess, the fertility goddess of the ancient Egyptian empire. And her husband, for lack of a better word, was Osiris. Now Osiris in Egyptian means bearer of the eye of enlightenment, whereas in the Hebrew Bible, it's the word, and I can't remember the word now, but it gets translated as Lucifer. Lucifer means bearer of enlightenment. So they're the same person. Lucifer and Isis are the same people as Aish and Aish Shah. or Satan and Aishasha. Now, here's the cool thing that I'm going to share with you. This is the thing that you're going to really like. And in the edited version, I'll put Strong's reference numbers and stuff so you can go look this up for yourself. But the word Aishasha comes from the word Enaush. Now, here's the thing. If you look it up, Enaush in the like the concordance, dictionary, lexicon, they all say that Enaush means male human. Always means male human no matter what. Well, that can't be right. Now, you see, when I say things like this, people will tell me, no, you don't know what you're talking about. The men who wrote those books went to college, you know, stay in your place. Recognize that you're not up enough on the hierarchy to make these statements. But when the angels went to Abraham, Abraham saw these angels, and he called them Enaush. And Enaush, if Enaush is a male human, then it wouldn't be proper for Abraham to call these angels Enaush. So an angel, apparently an Enaush can be a male human or it can be a male angel. But see, we don't even really know that. An Enaush can be a female human, or maybe a female angel. You know, there are no female angels mentioned in the Bible, but that doesn't mean they don't exist. I mean, if God made the angels male, what would be the point of that if he didn't make the angels, make female angels as well? You know, so anyways, this word Enaush, which means it just means powerful human, like a god. You know, the word God, we think, well, God, that means this giant magical man with a white beard that lives in the clouds. He's invisible. That's really all church stuff. It doesn't say that anywhere in the Bible. But the word God is just anyone who is the boss, someone who's powerful. The word God, or El, the Hebrew word El, is not always some kind of invisible spirit creature. And in fact, it's not even singular. You know, the word Elohim means the gods. Doesn't mean God. It means the gods. But in our Bibles, it always says God, you know, and then God did this. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Well, it actually says in the beginning, the gods created the heavens and the earth. I'm not telling you to worship multiple gods. I'm not telling you the gods are all equal. I'm not telling you the gods are even invisible spirit creatures, because we're not given that information. I want people to know what the Bible actually says, but please don't ask me to tell you exactly what it means, because a lot of times there's really no hints anywhere in the Bible about what it means. But we'll be talking about it more, so you can make your own decision later on. But right now, just know this word Enaush, which means powerful being, is the word that is like the root for Aishasha. So the Enaush is supposed to only be men, and yet we know that Aishasha can only be women, and Enaush is the root word of Aishasha. I hope this isn't getting too complicated. That's one of the things I don't like about just standing in front of the camera and talking, is that I'm always afraid that I'm making things confusing. Well, anyway, here's the deal. I've got it wrote down here, so I don't want to get these two words confused. In the Bible, there's another word, Anash. Enaush and Anash are almost the same word. Enaush means like powerful person, powerful entity, a god, someone who's like over others in the hierarchy. Anash, which is almost the same word, means terminally ill. So what's the connection? Why would these gods, these powerful ones, these rulers, who are called Enaush, why is that word so closely related to Anash? Terminally ill. Because you think about it. Adam and Eve were just humans. They were not designed to rule the world. You know, they were supposed to be just part of our family. You know, that's our father and mother. You know, the Bible says honor your father and your mother, so they would have been in that hierarchy as our family rulers. But see, when Eve entered into the covenant with Satan, Satan says, is it true that God doesn't let you eat fruit? She says, yeah, we can eat fruit, we just can't eat this specific fruit. Now that law not to eat that fruit was probably instinctive. Like, she knew when she looked at it that that was not something she was supposed to eat. It says that she looked at it and said it looked good for food, but somehow she knew not to eat from it. Well, Satan says, well, why don't you eat from it? He says, well, we'll die. God says that if we eat that, we'll die. Satan says, you're not going to die. The reason that God, and see, Satan, at the very end of the Bible, he's called a liar. Jesus called him a liar. Jesus called the Pharisees liars because he said they were from their father Satan, who was a liar. So, anyway, Satan's like, you're not going to die. The only reason God doesn't want you to eat that, because once you eat it, you'll realize that you can decide for yourself what's good and what's bad. See, God doesn't want that. He wants to make all the rules, which isn't fair. You know, you can be God. You can be like God or like the gods, knowing good and bad. So from the moment she took a bite of that fruit, Aisha, she became Enosh, godlike. But she also became an Ash, terminally ill. And that was proven. We don't know when, but we do know that when we look around, Eve's not here because she died. She was terminally ill. She became a god the same moment she became terminally ill. And to this day, we're all terminally ill. But there are those who still crave that power to rule over others. You know, when you see people going out to vote, you know, most people don't associate that with being a god. But see, God has made instinctive law. The only reason that anybody would ever vote is to get somebody in to make unnatural laws. Because these guys, these presidents and kings and popes, they can't make a law that's better than natural law. So if you're choosing to go out and do that, to go pick up a leader, a fleshly human leader, you're not saying you want to return to natural law. What you're saying is this candidate's unnatural law sounds a little bit better than this candidate's unnatural law. All unnatural law should be offensive to us. It is that ability to make decisions for ourselves and rule ourselves separate from instinct that is leading to our deaths. Now, there's going to come a day when death will be no more. No more pain, no more suffering, no more death. And that cannot come back if we insist on being powerful, Enosh gods. If you don't want to survive, don't listen to me. And please watch both versions of this. If you watch one of them, you don't have to watch the other one all the way through. But look at both and compare them. Now, obviously, I haven't seen the footage yet, so I may not need anybody to look at this. Once I get them that's edited and get them uploaded, it's very possible that it'll be obvious which one is better. And if that's the case, you don't have to say a word. But just take a look, and if there is an obvious difference and you can see a decline in quality for the edited version, let me know.